This is very close.
Okay, so I guess the best place is to introduce ourselves for anyone who doesn't know who we are.
That's right. So, Simon.
You go first.
You me go first?
You
Okay.
go first.
Okay. So, Gerlof is the name. Gerlof is the way you pronounce the name in Scotland. But people go first letter G, and that's all we can handle. Okay. From South Africa, as I said, and been living in Scotland 20 years almost. So, just as long in Scotland as I've been in South Africa. So I'm in this nice little midpoint. I'm a photographer by trade, daddy of two, and as you know,
Exhausting.
midlife crisis. That's exhausting. And then you want to find something more to do, and then you make childish films, you know. And it makes everyone very happy that you're always doing things that doesn't make a lot of money. Keeps you away from your responsibilities as an adult, as a grown-up.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
And let's move it over to you.
So I'm Simon. People call me Si. I'm middle-aged as well, slightly above middle age, I'd say. I've had a checkered career from animation to events, music, and back to film. I've got 3 kids, again, exhausted. Absolutely love my life with the kids, but it just feels like I needed something creative to do again. I went through a bit of a phase where I just didn't want to take part in life at all, except for just bringing kids up.
Right,
And now they're a bit older, it feels like I need to be creative again. And we kind of I stumbled into this by trying to find a new career after COVID, because events went down the shitter. And so picked up a camera again, really enjoyed editing and filming. And then we met at a course for what would you say it was? Is it for people who are of all ages?
Yes, for people of all ages, between the ages of 18 and 21.
Yeah.
So yes, we were the
eldest,
the grandpappies.
Yeah.
So Screen Education Edinburgh, with the Screen Progression program, and that's where we met. And I remember, like, the first day even, because I think we were early even.
Yeah.
Before the class started, and we quickly had a quick little exchange, and we were like, we're on the same page.
It's going to work, yeah.
So yes.
But that kind of gave us an opportunity to. I mean, I had never learnt cinematography. I kind of made a few mistakes because I'd started picking up a camera again and editing, and made some grand mistakes, and started to learn from YouTube what I should be doing. So I felt like when I was going into that course, I felt like I had a little bit of knowledge, but I didn't know anything about cinematography, what, rule of thirds, all that kind of stuff. So I think that really helped me in that respect. I don't know where you come from photography, so you understood that a bit.
Yes, so yes, what I've been doing had a lot to do with composition, and so I had these principles down.
Yeah.
But what I was keen on was trying to tell story, narrative film. So I've been covering events, so always helping other people remember their story or tell their story. But I was just curious to see if I could tell a story of my own and shape it in my own way. So as much as it is about the filmmaking, it's also about the writing. For me, it's a great thing to part, just to take part of, take part in, because I go away, I book myself an Airbnb, it's a wolf at the door, I lock myself in, and 3 days I sit, and it's that's all I do, is I sit, I work, and I pee, and I sleep. But when I come out of there, it's there's something in my hand, a first draft of something, a rough draft of something. But it is a beautiful thing, because as the kids are there, you can't focus. You can't put 100% focus into anything, really.
No.
And so, if for me, the magic is going away and being permitted just like a little bit of a block of focus, and then I just go for it. So sorry, I've gone off on a tangent there, but the filmmaking thing is actually it's an age-old ambition. I mean, back in the day in South Africa, I did have a curiosity about it, you know, but there the opportunities weren't as abundant as they are here. So I kind of put that ambition to the side, and post-COVID, I was sitting up one night going, okay, let's see if we can bring that thing up again. And as soon as I decided to bring it up, the C thing popped up like instantaneously. Yeah. So I just went fully in. I
mean, we're really lucky because it was a one-off. Really.
It was just 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it was just explain. It was like was it 6 months maybe?
No,
or a couple of nights a week, and it was just a bit of an introduction. Really.
From February to, well, the screening was October, so we started in February, 2 nights a week, and you just go from the start. You go from pre-production right through to distribution. Yeah. And then we made our own short films. Yeah. And then they stopped the program. Yeah. So
won't take that personally. No.
But what it did allow for us was to make. I mean, every person on that course made his own short film with the help of the others. So you and I didn't work together on the films we made.
We were split up.
Yes, split into different. But it was a lot of fun, man.
It was a lot of fun, and it also it helped you realise how much you loved it, for one. How much you can achieve with no budget and very little time. Yes. Like I bit off far too much, and I think you did as well.
I did as well. Yes.
But we both came out with something I think we were pleased with. You know, I was pleased with it in some respects, but you also think, I wish I'd done it a different way.
Totally, and there were limitations, right? We could only do it for a certain amount of time, run time. Yeah. We could only do it with X amount of speaking parts. So there were these lines in which we had to color. Yeah. But that was part of the fun. And yes, you can always make it bigger and better, and it is what it is. I mean, my first scene, that opening scene, rookie mistakes. Even as a photographer, I was like, when I got the footage back, I was like, this stuff is unusable. Yeah. and then, but we used it. And then at one of the screenings, I think you were there at that one screening, where someone in the audience raised their hand and said, "So, how was it shooting on film?" Just because the stuff was grainy as hell. And I was like, yes, it was deliberate. It was totally planned out that way. Yeah. But anyway.
But I think it gave us just a good introduction into. It basically gave me the hunger.
Yes.
And, it pushed us to then try to make some more stuff, I think.
Yes, yes. Now, between us, at least we're able, maybe because we're just a bit older, we're able to pull some resources. We know some venues and places in the area and so on. And so we're able to make, or to at least attempt to make something by ourselves. Yeah. But yes, meeting at sea, having that experience, then pushed us into the next direction, which is Lux Magna.
Chaos.
Chaos, baby.
Yeah. So
what were we thinking, man?
Well, it started off with just after the sea projects. It's just I wanted to try something else. Had a little idea, and said, "Gee, do you want to come and help with this little idea?" And that was the start of this kind of partnership, I guess. We're very different in styles. Yeah. I mean, I'm erratic. I've got no planning. I'm chaotic. I'm not a writer, even though I do try to write scripts. Whereas you're very much about the writing. You're more meticulous. You spend a lot more time over shots. I'm like, yes, chuck it, right, next thing. So I think it's kind of a nice marriage of styles there a little bit. And I think that shone through with the first thing we did, which is a very different way of writing. So it started off as
It's probably everything we did on that, which is Sons of Cain.
Yeah.
Everything we did on that
was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So So, but what an experience. So we set out to shoot over a weekend, a short, just with 2 characters interacting. And I was just there to...
Just to give a hand.
Just to give a hand, just to move lights around, you know. But then, of course, I kind of... I probably just injected myself into it a bit too much. And then we had to... But why does it end there? It must not end there. It must end elsewhere. And then we ended up with a year's worth of shooting, sporadically, as children.
And coming up with, what happens if this happened?
Yes.
And let's film this bit now. And basically, we shot a scene and then decided how the story was going to evolve from there. And then when we thought that was where it was going to end, it then evolved into another bit of a story and another character. And it's completely wrong, the way we've...
Everything we learned at sea
was thrown out the window.
We just did not apply it.
But, you know, we're lucky because, you know, we've got better kit now, but I did have some basic kit, some lights, some cameras. And so I think it did help us at least make it look better than it would have if we hadn't.
Yes, and
you know.
And again, because we did everything wrong, we just learned the hard way.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not going to win awards, but it's something.
Yeah.
It's something, and it's our little baby. It's rough. It's tumble. It's
yeah.
It's silly and ridiculous, and that's exactly what we're after.
You know, I think like we were, you know, standing in bathtubs, one holding a light, the other one lying on the floor, trying to do sound at the same time, just the 2 of us.
Yes, just the 2 of us.
And even the actors were like holding something at some point. So it's like, and even all the things like you're supposed to log everything, clapperboard everything.
Yeah, we started
off.
Yes.
They went all out the window.
All out the window.
But I think it kind of made me think that it is actually possible to do this without a big crew. I mean, obviously it's nicer to have a big crew and have more people to help, but I think when you're trying to be nimble and quick and you're working stuff out as we were, I think it's easy when it's just a couple of you just to kind of go, let's try this now, and
totally.
let's try that now, and let's put this here, and you know, we weren't worrying too much about you know explaining to someone else what you were going to do. And I think in that respect, I think it's helped us be quite nimble in, you know, obviously we have kids, and so that's the thing that slowed us down, not the filming or the ambition. It's just been life has slowed us down. And
this is a young man's game. I mean, people who are working on film crews are usually a bit younger and not as attached to their domestic surroundings as we are. But somehow we kind of pulled it off in a way. So,
and I think I'm pleased with what we've achieved.
Yes.
Obviously, there's lots of holes in it in terms of what the story. Maybe if we wrote it first, maybe it wouldn't have turned out the way maybe it would have. I don't know, but it's just the process we use. It was kind of like jamming. We were jamming a tune.
Well, there you go. You say jam, I say the jazz.
Yeah.
It's really just surfing the wave.
Yeah.
Like things just kind of happened as we were doing it, which was wonderful. Even bringing the people on board, which we started to work with later on, it just happened, not because we forced it, but it wanted to happen. I find that in the writing process a lot as well, that sometimes if you're aware, it kind of tells itself. You know, and this is what happened here, and I love it, man. I just love the whole thing. So
I mean, there's so many people helped us out. We had some like young actors, Lou, who hadn't really acted before, and we had Andrew who hadn't acted at all, and we borrowed a Cortina, an old Cortina from Car Cave in Edinburgh, who were really generous. We filmed in an apartment. We were really lucky to kind of. It looks quite stylized because of what we managed to pull in from people being kind, and I think that's such an important thing when you're starting out. Is it can increase the production value by having this kind of input of style.
Yes.
And I think Dave, with your original film, maybe mine to some extent, there was definitely a stylistic kind of idea there, which I think helps, because so many student films are quite based in the real world, and sometimes it can look, it even like a realistic real world scenario has to be stylized in some respects.
Yes.
But it's even harder that way. But I think when you're being really stylistic, it does help.
I agree, and realism is what we deal with every day. I don't want to see another flat with another guy in his trackies going through a crisis of some sort, because that's real, What I am interested in though are you talk about style. That's one thing, yes, to have a particular and a definite look about the visuals and the sound, but the story as well. I mean, I need there to be a definite theme, a definite subject, like something that we're talking about that's not every day. That's more archetypal and more broad, really. I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy things like the hero's journey. It's it's been done. It's been done over and over, but it makes I really enjoy that. So sorry, man. So
he's tapping away here.
You know what? So in the past, like if I watch the movie, or you go to the orchestra, just there at the Usher Hall, and everyone has to always put calm down, because I always go. But so
if anyone's watching this and the footage is dancing around,
if there's a beat to the footage. Anyways, I'm moving to all these areas, but all I want to say is yes, a good story, and something that looks good. That's all I'm after. And I'm trying to see if I can make things that I'd like to see, and also I'm trying to make things that I could show my kids. I don't want to make a horror movie with blood spattered onto the screen, and there's a place for that. It's just not where I fit. I'm not a good fit for that. I do like to tell something that hits you, that appeals to the inner child of a person, and even if it is a bit maybe violent or a bit scary, or there are these base childlike layers that I like to go there, So we'll see. We're just spitballing and rolling and going as we can.
I mean, that's the thing. Like Sons of Cain was the start of it, and we've managed to edit it and we've done the sound. Everything's ready, good to go, and we're kind of now. I guess we're looking. I mean, we both started on things that we're kind of. Sons of Cain was very a mishmash of both of us, and I think now we're kind of both working on each other's ideas, but it's kind of separated in respect that we're investigating what's inside our brains.
Yes.
But also helping each other.
And this is the lovely part of it, So what we did with Sons of Cain is we came from these two angles and threw it into one pot. Now we've got two pots, but we're both playing in each other's pot. And to quote Withnail and I, what pot? Anyway, so it's very exciting. So let me ask you a little bit about Lux Magna, okay? Lux Magna. In your words, how do you see this partnership?
I think it's an entity, obviously, that we're not a company. We don't have a ton of cash or money, but it's an entity where our ideas live, both of our ideas, and it's where the likes of Sons of Cain, which we might work together on, or solo kind of projects that we work on together. It's an entity where Si and G make films.
There you go.
Essentially,
I
think, and this is where we're kind of we're delving into a different world now, where we need to fund things, because we can't continue funding everything, because it's just like it's a draw. Even though we Sons of Cain was done like an ultra low budget, but we didn't pay actors. They were everyone was very kind to us, and we don't want to take the mick.
No,
we want to pay people who've talented for their time, and obviously with a bit of budget, then you can hire a venue, do all the things that you'd like to do, but without it being ridiculous. We don't want to limit ourselves by needing £10 million.
No.
This is still a very low budget process, but
what we are doing though is we're starting to navigate that world, and we're finding out that it's doable.
Yeah.
These days you don't need to go through the gatekeepers to get to the point where you're making something.
Yeah.
You can kind of jump in and start.
Yeah, and I think people consume things in a different way these days. Obviously, the emergence of YouTube over the last 10 years, that's now a very big player in terms of where people can view your films. Obviously, the dream is always a theatre because that's the way we grew up, and that's where your heart is. But at the same time, people want to see it in lots of different formats, and I think this is part of what we're doing here, and we're going to continue to have podcasts and talk to lots of people we work with to kind of it gives you the ability to
kind of
share.
shit. Sorry.
To share your vision with a lot more people than if we just try to do theatre releases, even if you paid for a showing and invited loads of people in. This is more about producing something that as many people can watch as possible without limitations, and I think obviously theatre is one, YouTube and other like kind of platforms is another, and so hopefully we can navigate our way through and invite people to join us, in terms of finance, and feeling like they're maybe part of the project, even if it's just donating a little bit of money towards something, or if they want to get more involved in production and they've got talent and we can embrace everybody.
Totally. And touching on that point, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about sort of platforms in a moment, but what I enjoy thinking about when I think about this partnership is that fact where we can get people involved to make something. So we've just done with Screen Ed and also Screen Scotland. We've done the summer school. Yeah. What was it called exactly again?
I think it was just called the Film Summer School.
I can't remember. But anyway, it's this scheme that was launched 2 years ago, where we got teachers from all over Scotland to come and do a summer school, a 2-week summer school in which they learned filmmaking, which they took back to their schools. Yeah. And only now the government sort of okayed the curriculum, so film will be introduced into curriculum. So for me, a great ambition would be to get these pupils that are studying film and come along. Yeah. So if we're making something of a decent scale or something that's gonna tickle their interest, and they've got maybe an interest in a certain department or whatever, to come along. Like places that we want to shoot at in the future are educational places. Get a few youngsters in there to just come along with us on this ride, So it's like, just to circle back, Lux Magna is an entity between us, a partnership, but we really want to just bring a few people along on the ride and make some films.
There are so many talented people in Scotland. I mean, there are amazing Scottish productions and short films and music and art. There's so much talent in Scotland. But you're right. It's like it'd be nice for people to see that perspective from within rather than people's viewpoint from outside, and utilise those that are here for a project that is about here. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be all kilts and.
No. But that's exactly. But
it's more of a Scottish kind of, not theme, but just
Look, there are so many layers in Scotland. I mean, I keep discovering things. Okay, you've got the top layer, which is the flat in Leith. If you just go a little bit deeper, things start getting very interesting. if you go as deep as Scottish folklore, there is, I mean, it's a treasure trove. But I rarely see it. The deepest people tend to go are things like the Loch Ness Monster, or Outlander is now considered deep. But if you go deeper, the language, like the Scots language that you are aware of now, I never knew. I always assumed, when I hear a bit of a Scottish twang, I think, they call it Scots. It's not really a language. It's an accent. It's an accent. It's a dialect. But once I started looking into it, I was amazed, man.
Yeah, it's like the Welsh. It's the Celtic kind of language. It's like the Welsh. The Welsh are very good. Have been very good at maintaining their language. Where, like, I know the Scots is making a comeback.
Yes.
And in certain areas that is spoken.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
It's a beautiful language.
Beautiful. I mean, at first you go, that sounds like Scottishified English.
Yeah.
But once you delve in, I mean, I went to see some plays recently, in Scots plays and so on, and it is music to my ears. So I'm more and more, even after being here for 20 years, discovering deeper and deeper layers. I don't see much of it on screen, but I'm trying to, in my own small way, maybe see if I can add to things that happen on screen in that way,
And I think that it does. People haven't seen what we do, what the difference is between us.
Yes.
Yet, but you're very, just to kind of explain, I would suggest that you're more fantasy, not fantasy, but kind of like folk. That's your thing. That's kind of your. Whereas, I mean, in style, I think that really lends well to you. Like, for me, it wouldn't work.
No.
I'm a lot more.
Well, you're yes.
Like shallow, I would call it.
No, not. What I like about your approach is this kind of jump in with all you've got, but you keep it very grounded and you keep it very real, and you keep it kind of sexy. There's a sexy, I don't know, musical quality to it. Even your stuff, even if we're just filming visuals, there's a way that you roll with it, which is almost like playing in a band,
I guess it comes from my music background, I guess, and I always see things rhythmically,
yes,
and stylized, and I think that's the difference between the two of us. Like, yours is very stylized in one way, and mine's very stylized in another. But what I really value about you when I talk to you about what I'm doing is you question the story, which I don't think that much about. Like, I think, that'd be a great idea, and then you're like, but why, or what's going to happen next? Like, we were just talking in the car about a little idea, and you were like, but what? And I think that's what really helps me in the partnership. I think you really question why I'm doing it and what's the point of that.
Sure. And then on the flip side of that, what you do for me is you help me get my head into this technical place. I mean, to an extent I am there with the photography and everything else that I'm doing, but you kind of bring me, because I want to fly before I can crawl sometimes, and you just bring me sort of back to, make sure that we've got the sound and the light and everything and the settings ready before we jump in. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I can be a little bit hasty and be a bit more sort of dreamy and ridiculous about things. So you kind of bring that to the table, which I like. And I think in that way, yes, it's a really cool,
good balance.
Two things, really, interesting. Two interesting ways to come from. So
I mean, I guess we could wrap it on, but I think we probably should move on.
Let's move on, man.
To like what's next. Like obviously Sons of Cain, people have a chance to see it. Well, I assume there'll be a link to something we're doing
imminently,
here.
just now. By the way, when I say now, this is the people go, what do you mean?
We're talking
now.
It's October now. So it could be 2027.
So I yes, if you if you know Afrikaans people, they'll go now or now,
Yeah.
which is just a little bit later than now.
yeah.
But around now,
Yeah.
we will release Sons of Cain. So Sons of Cain is this baby of ours, the first one we've done, and we'll have that out any moment.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about what other projects we've got going on. So we've got 2 separate projects at the moment going on. We'll start with yours.
Okay, so I'm erratic with what I do, and I come from a music background, and I really like immediacy. Like I like just to do something. I don't want to. You're very good at thinking about things and getting it all in order. I'm very much. I've got an idea. I'm going to do it now, and I really enjoy that kind of band process where you're kind of jamming something through in a studio. And I thought, well, what if I kind of made film like making an album in a studio, and it was like jamming out an idea, releasing that, and it becomes a bigger body of work at the end of it, like an album. And so the idea was then to create a visual album, and it told a complete story if you watched or listened to it from A to B. But each track or film, as I call, track or film, whichever you want to call it, would have its own individual story, and would be released as singles like you would from an album, like the old school albums. And so I came with an idea, and I've started running with it, obviously, as I do. And so the idea is to record singles from an album, which I will write all the original music, and they'll be released with a B-side. So the B-side is basically more experimental, kind of the backstory of something that's going on on that single. So you might want to find out a bit more, but you don't want it to trip over the main story in the long-running album. So that's what I've started to do, and I've got a storyline. We've already shot 6 films, and they're going to be probably around 22 films in total with original music and also with original artwork. And I'm just in the process of finishing the first EP, as you like, with double A side and 2 B sides with artwork. And it's just going to be a journey. I know what the ending's going to be, I know what the beginning was, and I know roughly what's happening in the middle, but we're filming, recording the songs, and then moving on to the next one, and eventually it'll be released every 4 weeks to 6 weeks when I'm get my ducks in a row. But that's what I'm
you see, and what a cool, because again, this is more of a serial, right? So it's again, we're just dabbling in some an array of different ways to do this. It's not a standalone single film. No, and it's very like using what we have, like, so it's a journey, like a hate like road trip kind of things, but it's very much based upon vehicles going from A to B, because as a kid I used to hitch a lot and met lots of interesting people, and so it does lend itself well to each part of the journey as a part of the trip. And using cars, interesting scenarios, but everything's very quick, utilising what's around. There's no big flash sets or anything. It's like doing what we can with what we have, and so it's a lot quicker in that respect. We're hanging out of cars with microphones, stuff stuck on windscreens, borrowing cars. Like you, last time we filmed, you got car sick. Shit, man.
So
Don't remind me.
it's
that was tricky.
It's rough.
Tricky.
So it's not ideal, and it's scrappy. It's like I'd explain my filmmaking process as a fight. You're having a scrap, and but at the end of it, you come out all right.
Yeah. A little bit bruised. Yeah.
But the results.
Nice.
It's more immediate.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, your project is really, really interesting, and it delves real deep, and it's all about the story. So if you explain
so that's again what was nice about this is we're getting to play in our own pots. I mean, and just trying to explore that. with whatever whatever resources we can accumulate, you know. So yours is a bit of a series, but you said 22 films there.
Yeah, because
So
that
that's your
includes
aim.
B-sides, so it
Okay,
would be
okay.
like, say, potentially 12 or 10 to 12 films in the story that join together to make a whole film. But in that as well, there's another 12 B-sides which will be released. So that kind of, yeah.
Okay, yeah, good stuff. So mine is a single project at the moment. We've chatted about this, but it's probably, would you class it as a micro feature? Is that accurate? It's probably an hour's worth of runtime.
But the beauty is, we've talked about it, and it could take various forms, and you're yet to decide where you want to go with that. But
yes.
if essentially from A to B, it'll be one
About an hour.
mini feature. I guess.
Mini feature.
Yeah.
So this is a story. It's an old South African folktale, Afrikaner folktale, called Racheltjie de Beer, which is just a name and a surname. So Racheltjie de Beer. De Beer is a very common Afrikaans surname. I wanted to keep, so her name and surname is the title of the story, but I wanted to keep that title just as is, as the title of my story. So if you translate her name and surname, it literally translates to Rachel the Bear. And then I had to write the whole thing around why the bear. Okay, so I had to justify her surname. So I went and delved deep into Scottish folklore. I found something that I could work into to justifying it. So the whole reason for that film is it's a simple story, and it's just a basic story, a true story apparently. But of course, as time went by and investigations were made, they discovered no, not a true story, just ripped off another story from America. But it's simple enough and strong enough to pursue. So I wanted to, again, it's this 2020 thing. I found myself here just as long in Scotland as I was in South Africa. So I brought that story, and that story makes even more sense in the winter of Scotland than it does in South Africa. So I brought it here, and then I took various elements from Scottish folklore, and I went into the landscape and really tried to meld the two together, and they're a perfect match, you know. And we, again, as I wrote the story, even though I was months in, it started to dawn on me that I need to write this in Scots. So I, again, the kindness of people, some people came and helped me from the Scottish Storytelling Centre and so on, and we molded the script into a proper Scots language piece, which I'm very proud of, you know.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
And now we're in pre-production at the moment, and we're going to do a little show reel, a little concept reel, just to get a feel for it. And that will be coming out as well for people to see. But we will try to shoot the film in earnest next year. It's a bit of a bigger attempt. It's going to require a bit more help. But that's the next project for me.
And I think in both ideas that we have, you could sit there and apply for every single bit of funding you can. You could wait for years to do it. And I think part of what we're good at is just getting on with it. And I think regardless to whether I can get funding for what I'm doing, I'm going to do it anyway. But obviously it slows the process down. I would like to be able to pay everybody rather than sort of say, do you mind, you know. And also financially, when you're trying to do everything yourself, it's near impossible. We've got family, we've got
and we're discovering this. It's, you know, people watch a film, or say people review a film. They go to the cinema, they watch a film, and then they review it. But they've got very little idea of how much goes into making a film. Just getting the focus on a person's face, just getting the lighting right, just simple things, you know. There's a lot that goes into it, and we're learning that. We're learning that it's not just sticking a camera, popping a camera up and just going.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we are doing it ourselves. This reminds me of a scene in Harry Potter. Okay, how familiar are you with Harry Potter? Kind of, sort of.
I've seen them all.
Anyway, I think it's the third one, the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, he's at the edge of a lake, and he had this. I mean, earlier in the story, he thought he saw his dad saving him from the Dementors.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there was a time difference. I mean, he loops back in time. Well, I can't remember anyway. But anyway, he finds himself at that lake again, and he's like, "Don't worry, my dad is coming. He's coming." But these Dementors are sucking at him. Okay, it's not very nice. But then there's something that goes. He realizes his dad is not coming, and he just has to save himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. He was looking at himself getting sucked on.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, "My dad's coming. Don't worry, my dad's coming. My dad's coming." He never comes. It wasn't the dad. It was himself.
Yeah.
And I always think about that, because you can wait and wait for the savior to come, the funding to come, the person, the angel to come and help you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not coming.
Yeah.
You just have to just jump in and do it. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm learning here. It's not always. It's not gonna be Hollywood.
No.
But it's fun, and in the end you walk away with something.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one more thing that I love, okay, is working with actors. We did the reading for Rachel the other day. We had actors on a round table reading the script.
Yeah.
Man, I loved it so much.
Yeah, you got some great talent there.
When they get into the story, I can sit back and watch it all day.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I like. I almost approach the filmmaking thing as a play. I want people to play in front of the camera, and my job is to capture that in the best way I can.
Yeah.
I leave them alone. I don't go 3 inches to the left.
Yeah.
I just let them, because that for me is absolute magic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So this project, Rachel the Bear, is really leaning into the characters of the story, and I can't tell you how excited I am just to start working with them.
Yeah.
As if on a stage play. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going on and on, baby.
No.
But you're gonna have to just cut.
No.
I'm saying you. Maybe it's gonna be me. But
I mean, I think going on like we kind of explained, and I'm sure we're going to try to make this more of a regular chat.
Yeah.
Of progress and things like that. But I guess let's go on to Patreon and
sure.
what we're trying to achieve with that and how people can help. You know, there's nothing worse than asking for help, I think. You know, but sometimes it's just one of those necessary things, and you know, you can't lean on family and friends forever, and you know, expect them to help you all the time. Yes. Actors and. You know, everyone's got their lives and everyone needs to be paid, and you know, and we're not after vast amount of money to hire out big studios and stuff. This is very much being able to just pay people at a very basic level, isn't it? Yeah. And you know, and I think certain parts of our projects will require, you know, for my projects probably just very basic level stuff, and then for your project there'll be certain things we definitely need help with, and I think it's going to be viewable through Patreon. These, you know, obviously you're going to be able to see this on YouTube and all the kind of platforms, but it will lead to Patreon, which is where people can get involved, where there'll be more information, where they'll be sort of like explaining benefits to maybe donating a little bit of money here and there, and there'll be different ways of how people can get involved. Even if it's just volunteering, they want to join in.
Well, this is the whole point of that. Yeah. It's not just a campaign to get money, but we want people to come along on the ride that we're on. You know, so there are plenty of filmmakers in Scotland, and plenty of people who enjoy watching films made in Scotland, and I just want them all to come along, jump on. Yeah. And help us make the stuff. So everyone that I'm working with my project, for instance, are there because they want to help me make it. Because I can't make it by myself. No one person can. But getting people who are enthusiastic, bring a little bit of talent, bring a little bit of time, bring them on board. And if people come along on the journey, we will want to do it in interesting, fun ways.
Yeah.
You know?
And if people don't want to get involved in in the actual process of making it itself, and they do find that they do have some cash that they wouldn't mind helping with, there'll be ways that they can get involved in that respect. And just we've spoken about this, and we're just trying to work out how we're going to do it, but we're going to run like a podcast, and that's going to be very much about more of this kind of inane chat that we've got here, but with guests. We're going to we want to try to interview as many actors, professionals in Scotland, and just talk to them about their experiences and the difficulties, how things are moving on, content creation. This world is changing so fast, especially with AI and all the, if you're people are professionals in the business. Well, we're lucky I work as a filmmaker for brands, and you're a photographer, so we do have avenues where we make our money. But there are people who rely on the film industry and are probably going through a really difficult time, or it's very up and down. And so it's really trying to talk to people about their experiences and work out how we can all help each other. And how can this beautiful part of the UK help each other to kind of flourish and be like.
There you go, man.
We don't have the answers, but it'd be great to chat to people.
Yes, and just talk about it.
And we're not talking about. I mean, there are great bodies like Screen Scotland and all, creative. Is it Creative Scotland?
Creative Scotland? Yes.
Yeah, Creative Scotland. It is creative. It's like
suddenly
suddenly got a complete blank. Yeah. But there's great bodies, but they're limited to what they can do and what they can offer. And there's also BBC. There's all these other great bodies doing things, but there's not enough. Financial assistance for everybody, and so it's how can we help each other and how can we make it work
and just make good things. And you know what? As I'm becoming more and more familiar with the landscape, the filmmaking landscape locally, it's a small group who knows each other. They all know each other. I go to these film festivals and so on, and it's the same people that go. So it'd be great to just help each other and make things.
I mean, I've got a personal dream. I've always had this dream, but now I'm in Scotland and where we are right now, I've got background in music and now I'm doing film and really enjoy it. My dream would be to have like a setup, a big warehouse somewhere where anyone could just come along, record what they want, film what they want, because there's this big gap. Students can't afford to pay for a studio, and there's I come from a also events side of things where you build shit, and I think it'd be great to have a space where you could create a flat if you wanted a flat, or you could create a scene, or you could just record music or whatever.
Isn't that the one thing that people struggle for the most is space? Yeah. Look at us.
Yeah.
We're at the Gilly-Doo, people.
I mean, and they're amazing, and they have been amazing with a few things we've done, and there are people like Gilly-Doo. They don't have to do this, but they're just nice people.
There you go. Yeah. So again, the kindness of others, but that's the dream. Don't want to lean on it, but also you want to within your power, provide that. Wouldn't it be what a dream? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to have that space? And get people like us to come and make some stuff.
I mean, in America I know there's like filming ranches where vast spaces with forests and I know in the States it's like desert, but wouldn't it be great to have like a big space that anyone could come? Obviously it'll have to finance itself, and but at the moment, where do you go if you want a forest? You can't film in any old forest. You have to you have to like jump through hoops or do it on the sly, whatever, but imagine if you could have a space where there's a bit of trees, there's a hut in the middle of nowhere, there's a space inside, that would be a dream. And there seems to be a big gap, and I don't know how to fill that gap because I don't have the money, but one day
Yes.
Wouldn't that be amazing to have that in Scotland, so that the grassroots can, get up to the top level, or even compete.
Totally.
You know.
And look, Scotland is big enough and small enough for that to happen.
Yeah.
We're not losing touch with each other because we've got such great, vast gaps between each other.
Yeah.
It's doable,
Yeah.
small enough to achieve,
Yeah.
So that is a worthy ambition, man. That is a worthy dream,
Yeah.
So
we can only hope, can't we? But
well, let's see. Maybe we can make it happen.
yeah.
Another little quote that I live by from Shakespeare in Love. Okay,
Yeah.
the guy says, "It'll all work out well. How will it? I don't know. It's a mystery."
Yeah.
So I kind of want to apply that little bit of optimism to it. I don't know how, but if you just move in the general direction of it,
I think
out.
what we're doing is a little bit like being on a boat in the middle of the ocean. You're kind of pointing it in a direction, hoping that you're going to get
at least
to this
at
bit of land.
least we're pointing.
Yeah.
We're not just willy nilly.
The sail's up.
It's up, and
We're
we
kind
kind
of
of know we're going
Yeah.
there somewhere.
Yeah.
So
But that's part of the fun.
part of the fun.
so-
Part of the fun. Nice one, my
I think
bro.
we can just chat for hours, but
We can keep-
we'll leave everybody
We'll leave
alone
it
and just I think we've said that's what
Nicely done, bro.
that's good.